y'all want to clap for me? Y'all will be glad when I just made it to the stage.
I told you about it, sir.
Y'all waiting on me to say something funny, aren't you? You can't hear the way I'm talking?
You look funny enough, you're not singing.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I was watching the other comedians a little while ago with this microphone going in and out. And I was imagining me sounding like a guy with Tourette's on NPR radio. Getting bleeped every other word. I'm probably one of the few people y'all will ever meet that can watch swamp people without any type of closed captioning. That's because I am from the swamps of Louisiana. Yes, ma'am, so is she. She's actually from not far from where I'm from. I'm stuttering tonight. What the hell's up with that? I don't stutter often. And apparently I had enough rum and coke. But like I said, I am from the swamps of Louisiana. There's several things I have learned there throughout the years. One of them being that wild bear do shit in the woods. I can't climb a tree with my pants around my ankles. And apparently human feces tastes something like a Twinkie filling to a bear. Yeah, tell me about it. I was the one up the tree. Yeah, I hear you. Like I said, going through the swamps all them years, you know, I come to realize that Cajuns have a GPS in their head. I had never realized that my best friend Boogie was cross-eyed and could not see to save his life, and I was following him everywhere I went. And I realized as we were going along one day, he was counting trees to determine where we turned. And when he finally told me he was blind, I went, fuck, I've been following you all these years? Also, yeah, my pants unzipped again. Y'all are laughing way back there. You ain't bound to see shit. Trust me. Well, that one got Ron, didn't it? Yeah. I hear you, brother. Well, like I said, you know, they got the GPS in their head. I've never got lost in this swamp to save my life. And I realized that if that damn GPS that sat beside me in my car would talk to me like a Cajun, I would actually listen to that damn thing, and I would never get lost. But instead it uses a female's voice, which I kind of got tuned out after 10 years of marriage. You know, I don't listen to a woman tell me shit. But I come to realize that if it would like do sexual innuendo when it comes to giving me directions, I would listen real well. Things like he would make me so wet if you turn left in 500 feet. My blinker would come on at 350 feet and I turn right then. We both know men don't ever last long. Oh, y'all got that one, huh? Oh, you just eating this up, aren't you? Yeah, you're fine. I just like picking on people from the stage. I mean, it makes me feel a little less self-conscious because my first night on stage, I stood up there and I kept zipping my pants up for the first full hour. Y'all pardon me while I light my cigarette. And what's left of my mustache.
Tell them about your hair, Wangle.
So about my hair?
Tell them a story.
Oh, I'll tell that story one day, just not now.
Okay.
For those of y'all can tell, I do shave my head. I had really long hair way back when. I was telling him the story before I came up tonight. We were at the hunting camp in Louisiana and, you know, 14, 15-year-olds got nothing to drive around but three-wheelers and four-wheelers. We decided we was going to go to a party and it was pouring down rain. At the time, I had really long hair, or shoulder length hair all the way around when I actually had hair. We went to this party and I got there and I decided I needed a cigarette. And for those of y'all who knows what happens with wet hair and a gas stove, y'all can imagine where this story's going. I leaned over to light a cigarette and lost half of my hair and had to explain to my parents where it went. But this is going oh so well. You're barely smiling, am I that bad? How are you? Sorry, man, just messing with you. I was messing with her and she had that fuck you look on her face. And it wasn't a good kind of fuck you either. Let's get your ass off the stage.
That's not things all the time.
Oh, is it? Just imagine you if you had this face. I won't even shave with the lights on. I done lost where I was going now. That seems to be a running thing with me. I'm getting old, you know. I realized just how old I was the other day when I sat there watching TV and decided I needed a certain product from the pharmacy down the road from me. I'll give you a hint. My ass was hurting. So I got in the car and I drove down to the pharmacy and I went through there and all I needed was Preparation H. But I was too embarrassed to buy that shit. So I picked up the yellow package and I'm walking through the store with this yellow package and I thought to myself, I better get something to cover this up. So I bought Preparation H, muscle rub, toothpaste, mouthwash, box of condoms, and a new toothbrush. And it was at that moment that I realized I looked like a gay man fixing to have a really bad night. And as I threw all the product up on the counter there, the young lady standing there did her job. She looked at me, she goes, and how are you today, sir? I couldn't look her in the eyes and tell her my ass was hurting, so I just said, well, I'll be all right as long as I don't mix these 3 tubes up. Unfortunately, I did. Icy Hot now has a new name for me called Assy Hot. That's something you'll only do once in your life. Next time you'll actually turn the lights on in the bathroom. Y'all got anything that y'all want to talk about? Because I've still got 19 minutes and 12 seconds. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm stumbling up here, ain't I? Loving it. Well, what is this, McDonald's, man? Seriously. Who's there? Did you say my mama? Fuck you. Anything you want to talk about? You want to talk about sex in my old age?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about sex. I had 3 incidents that have confirmed my belief that animals do not belong in the bedroom. 3 of them suckers. The first incident being, I had a girlfriend, we had 4 dogs together. They stayed on the bed with us at all times, even during sex. Doggy style was interesting, man. I felt like he was taking notes. He held up that little cue card one time, it was 1.5. Kind of threw me off a little bit. But what confirmed that those dogs did not belong on the bed with us was that cold ass nose on my ass cheek. She thanked the dog, I did not. That was what you call a deal stopper right there. The second incident that happened, I was with a girl and we had just got finished having sex and okay, we was fucking. And I leaned over and I was laid on the bed, you know, wore out, sweat everywhere, as old fat guys do. And by the time she went to tell me that that dog would lick me somewhere, it licked me somewhere. I ran to the bathroom and washed with Clorox. But the third and final incident that finally killed the whole animals in the bedroom was not too long ago. We were getting kind of hot and busy with it, and I threw her up on the bed on top of the cat. Heard that sucker scream its head off. Felt the claws in both of our backs. I picked her up, and when I got the cat out from under her, got it off the bed, we went back to doing what we were doing. And about halfway in, I felt something flick my ball sack. It was that damn cat's tail. That's what you call a deal breaker right there. It don't matter what you're doing, you can't stay up for that. That's about all I can tell you about sex. I ain't had it in so long, I done forgot what it's like. I went in a strip club the other night and took a Cialis just so I wouldn't give a stripper a complex. Plus, you never know when the need arises. What do I need to finish on, Matt?
Have you told the one about the specifically the mail-in order bride?
Oh, about how I suck at relationships?
Yeah, about your life. Talk
Oh,
about your life.
reality, my bad. I feel you on that one. I really suck at relationships. Y'all have no idea. I suck out of my twice divorced, which makes me either a two-time loser or a three-time winner, take your pick. And I had, went through the whole dating scene and couldn't do worth a shit at it, so I decided I was gonna buy me a mail order bride. Of course, I went to the Asian site, couldn't afford them little heifers. Couldn't afford the Taiwanese or the Chinese either. They would outwork me anyway. I ended up on the Russian mail order bride site. Should have read that article just a little bit better. Apparently there was some assembly required. First package come in with 2 eyeballs and a unibrow. At least I assume it was a unibrow. It smelled kind of fishy. That was bad, wasn't it? And I'm the one that wrote the damn thing. I made myself blush. I got one last joke for you. Favorite joke of all time is my Dad of the Year joke. For 20 years running, I have been Dad of the Year. I've got all the t-shirts, caps, ties, coffee mugs, picture frames, you name it, they've called me Dad of the Year. What finally lost me that title though here recently? Well, actually it didn't lose it for me. You would have thought it was the time that my oldest boy was asleep on the couch. And as he snored real loud, I reached over and slipped that dog shot barking collar around his neck. He snored real loud, which made him yell, which made it shock him again, which made him yell. Took me a week to find that poor boy. That didn't lose it for me. You would have thought it was the time that my youngest boy was playing his Pokemon game on his Nintendo. He was getting into it, and I come into the living room. He goes, Dad, guess what I caught? I said, what, boy? He said, I caught a dildo. Which kind of took me by surprise. I looked at him, I said, what? He said, oh, God, I said something bad, didn't I, Dad? I said, yes, son, but I'm going to make you ask me what that is. So I said, just ask me in your own words. He goes, okay, Dad, what is a dildo? I said, son, it's a fake dick. Which to a 10-year-old was kind of confusing, because the look that went across his face was like, what in the hell would anybody want a dildo for? I told him, I said, well, ask your mama when I drop you off Sunday night. I bought her one for Christmas one year, told her she didn't like what I gave her, she could go fuck herself. That unfortunately is a true story. What finally lost me Dad of the Year though, was I was sitting there with my kids at dinner one night. We were having a good old conversation. We was cutting up all around the table. I looked at both of them, I said, y'all do know that I love y'all very dearly, right? Yes, Dad, we do. We love you too. I said, well, I love y'all only as friends, and I feel like we should see other families now. But I appreciate y'all laughing, and let's bring Matt back up to the stage while I stumble off that step there. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for your attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, TimWangle.com, bathroom, parking lot, Matt's house.
It's an apartment. Not a house. It's a home.